Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be doing some more shorter-term technical analysis on Bitcoin because, as you guys know, Bitcoin has been trading sideways for the last 7 odd days, and somehow our viewership here on YouTube has not dropped off into a canyon because Bitcoin has been very boring lately, but that might be coming to an end relatively soon. As you guys can see, there's something called the MACD, and that MACD is looking like it's about to have a bullish golden cross, and when it does, if it does, that would indicate that we may actually be seeing a bottom at $10,000 instead of where we expected Bitcoin to go, which was a lot lower. There are two sides to this argument. We're going to be diving deep into it in today's video. By the end of this video, you should have a much better understanding of where Bitcoin is, where Bitcoin is going, and whether or not Bitcoin's name is Cotton Eye Joe. I just always try to squeeze. You guys don't know this on the channel. I just always try to squeeze Cotton Eye Joe jokes in there. It's just a thing between me and myself and I. But anyway, we have a lot of great content coming up, and I think you're going to enjoy it. If you do, as always, consider hitting that like button. If you don't enjoy the content, hit the dislike button. Helps with our engagement. But anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Before we get started, I do want to mention one thing, and that's why I'm wearing a suit again. I'm actually meeting with the president of Turkmenistan to discuss foreign policy and foreign relations involving cryptocurrency, so I'll be talking with him around 3 o'clock today. That would be why I'm wearing a suit, in case all of you were wondering. Anyway, guys, I've also had it come to my attention that about 40% of you aren't subscribed, so hit that subscribe button, but let's go ahead and jump on to the chart. Guys, Bitcoin has been doing a boring as of late, and that means that there hasn't been much volatility on Bitcoin, nor has there been much opportunity for trading on Bitcoin, but that is, as always, likely to come to an end sooner rather than later. We've been trading sideways for a full 7 days now, and you know that if Bitcoin does the exact same thing for more than 7 days, the stars start freaking out, and they get pissed off at Earth, and they start sending comets at us, because that's not how Bitcoin is supposed to work. This trend should be coming to an end relatively soon, and I'll tell you why. There are two competing schools of thought right now as to why Bitcoin's trend should be coming to an end relatively soon. One is bullish and one is bearish. Let's discuss those. First and foremost, the bullish discussion says that when Bitcoin trades sideways for this long above a level of support, why has it not broken that level of support? Shouldn't Bitcoin bounce from here and continue to rally? Seriously, guys, we put a floor in. Not only that, but take a look at Stochastic RSI, MACD, and normal RSI, especially MACD. Looks like we're about to have a bullish cross. Shouldn't Bitcoin have put the bottom in and be about to rally? I mean, seriously, look at these plummeting shorts compared to these, as always, high longs. Aren't people a little bit more confident in Bitcoin than that? Should Bitcoin not pull back below $10,000 because of that? Seems like a fairly compelling argument. But here's why you need to hear both sides of an argument, because that argument in a vacuum seems very compelling. But there's also another argument that, when you have actually heard it, seems pretty compelling too. Because the school of thought that I would find myself in right now is that no, Bitcoin in fact is not bullish. Just because the MACD is correcting, that can be very easily explained as the MACD and the signal line are below the zero level, and since Bitcoin is trading sideways, they will automatically default back to the zero level, meaning that it looks like they're going to have a cross. Does that mean that Bitcoin's about to go back into an uptrend though? No. That's why you need to be able to interpret these different technical indicators rather than just reading them. Because if you were to just straight up read the MACD, you'd say, yes, Bitcoin's about to have an uptrend. No, in fact, this is happening because Bitcoin is trading sideways, and when sideways movement happens, all oscillators oscillate around something. They return back to the zero level on their oscillator, that being the zero level on MACD, meaning that MACD has to rally. The way I would look at this market is not, in fact, that Bitcoin has put a bottom in and it's about to bounce. I would look at this market and say, Bitcoin pulled back 15%. It bounced on support over 7 times and failed to rally anything farther above $10,500. This is a technical bear flag and suggests that Bitcoin should move to the downside as far as it did when it entered, having our price target, as we said a few days ago, around $9,000. So is Bitcoin actually more bullish? Well, Bitcoin is actually a little bit more bullish today than it was a few days ago because it's held the support, and that's a great thing for the bulls, but that doesn't mean that it's bullish. Does that make sense? We've kind of moved the oscillator a little bit away from bearishness, a little bit away towards bullishness, but we're still resoundingly bearish. And the reason is because Bitcoin hasn't put a bounce in. It is simply trading at the support. If we had bounced up to $11,000, I'm wrong. Bitcoin's going into a rally. Cool beans. That hasn't happened, and until it does, I'm going to stick by my prediction of $9,000. That might not be a popular prediction. In fact, I guarantee you it won't be, but I guarantee you it's more likely to happen than the bullish alternative right now, especially considering the massive head and shoulders pattern that formed a little while ago. We're pulling back to 9K. I'm pretty certain of it. I might be wrong. I've been wrong in the past. I'll be wrong in the future. So will you, by the way, so don't think you're perfect either. That one person I'm talking to who's a hater and is always leaving silly comments. But guys, look, the point that I want to make in this video is twofold. I'm about to make the second one, but the first point is this. There are two sides to every story. In fact, there are three sides. There's the objective truth, and then there's the other two sides. But in Bitcoin, there isn't really an objective truth. Unless you can see into the future and you know what Bitcoin's actually going to do, the objective truth doesn't really matter because it's not determined yet, because we haven't gotten to that position in the time interval. But there are always going to be two arguments, and in a vacuum, each one of those arguments will always be sound. That's why I presented the bullish argument first, said, hey, look, doesn't this seem pretty compelling? Wait a minute. What about the bearish argument? That's why in these videos I try to present both sides of that case, and I encourage you, whenever you are doing technical analysis, always remember there are two sides to every story, and oftentimes you might be surprised by this side that you thought was stupid, that you haven't looked into that much. They might be the right side. That can be applied to technical analysis, it can be applied to politics, it can be applied to family feuds, it can be applied to absolutely everything, and it's something that you guys ought to carry with you in life. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for the technical analysis for today's video. But before you go, especially if you are from the United States of America, there's something I want to talk about, and there's a lesson I want to draw from this. I'm a patriot. I love my country. Is America perfect? No, but I do deeply, deeply love this country. And 19 years ago today, something absolutely terrible happened to the city of New York, and you all know what it is. I'm not even going to say it because, I mean, YouTube might try and take the video down or something because, you know, we live in 1984, except in 2020. But anyway, the reason I bring it up is, one, because, you know, it's important and I want to pay my respects. But two, the reason I'm bringing this up is because in cryptocurrency, we have a very, very daily view of the markets, and I'm worried that transfers over to life for a lot of people. We look at what the market is doing day in and day out, and we just focus on today. If it happened a week ago, that's ancient history. If it's going to happen a week from now, we don't care. We're looking down. We're not looking up. We're looking down. And you need to remember that there's a lot more to life than crypto. Look, I love cryptocurrency to death. It completely changed my life, and there is no way that if I didn't love it, I would be making a video every single day on it for 3 years now. I love it. I absolutely do, and I think it's going to change and revolutionize the world. But that doesn't mean that there isn't more to life than this. And I worry that a lot of people, when they get into crypto, they get a little bit too much into crypto, because I'm not going to lie, sometimes crypto can act a little bit like a CULT. I don't know if that word is very liked by YouTube, but you know what I mean. I want to remind you guys that it can be over any day. You don't know when it's going to happen. So make sure you're enjoying your life. Make sure you're using the money that you're making in crypto to spend time with your family and friends, to make memories, to help the world, to save somebody, to do something bigger. I want you guys to remember just how finite this life that we have is, especially someone in my position. I'm 20. It's very easy for me to think I'm going to live forever. I'm not, and neither are you. And that's morbid, but it's truth, so we need to understand it, and we need to realize that we don't have forever, and we need to make the most out of it. And making the most out of it isn't making that extra dollar at the expense of seeing your daughter graduate high school. It's not making that extra Bitcoin at the expense of traveling the world like you always wanted to. I want you guys to remember that bad things happen in this world, and you never know when they're going to happen. So make sure you're taking advantage of the good times while they last. Take this year, for example. It's not been a great year for a lot of people, but if it has been a good year for you, make sure you are thankful for that, because you don't know how bad it could have been. We are so lucky to be born in the 21st century on Earth as a human. Guys, you could have been born a stop sign, and you're complaining about your Wi-Fi going down. Come on. Let's have a little bit more gratitude, shall we? I think the world needs a lot more of that. Anyway, God bless everyone from 19 years ago, and God bless America. Anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.